Welcome, ghost hunters and thrill seekers, to our countdown of the top 5 haunted locations in Kansas. If you're fascinated by the paranormal and love a good ghost story, you're in the right place. Kansas is home to some of the most spine-chilling and mysterious sites in the country, each with its own eerie history and unexplained phenomena. From haunted bridges to ghostly hotels, we've got it all covered. So, grab your flashlight, settle in, and let's embark on this spooky journey together. Starting with number 5. Number 5. Theorosa's Bridge, Valley Center, Kansas. This seemingly ordinary bridge is haunted by the ghost of a woman named Theorosa, who is said to search for her lost child. Visitors have reported hearing her cries and seeing her ghostly figure near the bridge. It's a chilling spot that will make you think twice before crossing alone at night. Theorosa's Bridge, located in Valley Center, Kansas, is a place steeped in local legend and eerie tales. The story goes that Theorosa was a young mother who tragically lost her child, either through drowning or abduction, depending on the version of the tale you hear. Heartbroken and desperate, Theorosa is said to have thrown herself into the river, and her spirit has been restless ever since. This tragic backstory sets the stage for the haunting that many claim to experience at this bridge. Visitors to Theorosa's Bridge often report hearing the anguished cries of a woman, believed to be Theorosa herself, calling out for her lost child. These cries are said to be particularly loud and heart-wrenching during the night, adding to the bridge's eerie reputation. Some have even claimed to see a ghostly figure of a woman wandering near the bridge, her face etched with sorrow and despair. These sightings are often accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature, as if the very air around the bridge is mourning with her. But the haunting doesn't stop there. Many who have visited Theorosa's Bridge have reported their cars stalling or experiencing electrical issues when parked near the bridge. It's as if Theorosa's spirit is trying to prevent them from leaving, perhaps in a desperate attempt to find someone who can help her find peace. Others have felt an inexplicable sense of dread and unease, as if they are being watched by unseen eyes. These experiences have led many to believe that Theorosa's Bridge is not just haunted, but cursed. Local paranormal investigators have taken a keen interest in Theorosa's Bridge, conducting numerous investigations to try and capture evidence of the haunting. EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, recordings have picked up what sounds like a woman's voice crying out, "Where is my baby? And help me." These recordings, while chilling, provide a glimpse into the sorrowful existence of Theorosa's spirit. Some investigators have also captured strange anomalies in photographs and videos, such as orbs of light and shadowy figures that defy explanation. Despite its haunted reputation, Theorosa's Bridge has become a popular spot for thrill seekers and ghost hunters. Many come hoping to experience the paranormal for themselves, while others are drawn by the tragic story of Theorosa and her lost child. The bridge has even inspired local folklore and ghost stories, passed down through generations as a cautionary tale about the dangers of grief and despair. But what makes Theorosa's Bridge truly stand out on our list of haunted locations in Kansas is the sheer number of personal accounts and experiences. Unlike some haunted places where the activity is sporadic or limited to a few isolated incidents, Theorosa's Bridge has a consistent and well-documented history of paranormal activity. This makes it a compelling and intriguing destination for anyone interested in the supernatural. So, if you ever find yourself in Valley Center, Kansas, and you're feeling brave, take a trip to Theorosa's Bridge. But be warned, you may leave with more questions than answers, and a lingering sense of unease that stays with you long after you've left the bridge behind. Theorosa's Bridge is a place where the past and present collide, and where the sorrow of a grieving mother continues to echo through the years. And that's why Theorosa's Bridge earns its spot at number 5 on our list of the top 5 haunted locations in Kansas. Its tragic history, combined with the numerous reports of paranormal activity, make it a must-visit for anyone interested in the supernatural. Whether you're a seasoned ghost hunter or just a curious traveler, Theorosa's Bridge offers a haunting experience that you won't soon forget. Stay tuned as we continue our countdown of the most haunted locations in Kansas. Up next, we have a historic hotel with ghostly guests that will make you think twice about checking in. But for now, let's take a moment to reflect on the sorrowful tale of Theorosa and her eternal search for her lost child. It's a story that reminds us of the enduring power of love and the lengths to which a mother's spirit will go to find peace. Number 4. Hotel Josephine, Holton, Kansas. This historic hotel is known for its ghostly guests. Paranormal investigators have recorded numerous instances of unexplained noises, apparitions, and other supernatural phenomena. If you ever stay here, you might just get an unexpected visitor in the middle of the night. Hotel Josephine, located in Holton, Kansas, is a place where history and the supernatural intertwine. Established in 1889, this hotel has seen countless guests pass through its doors, but some of them seem to have never left. The hotel's rich history is filled with stories of joy, sorrow, and mystery, making it a prime location for paranormal activity. The hotel's most famous ghost is that of a woman named Josephine, after whom the hotel is named. Josephine was the original owner of the hotel, and she is said to have a strong attachment to the place she built. Guests and staff have reported seeing her apparition in various parts of the hotel, often described as a woman in period clothing, with a calm and watchful presence. Josephine's spirit is believed to be a protective one, watching over the hotel and its guests. But Josephine is not the only ghostly resident of Hotel Josephine. The hotel is also said to be haunted by the spirits of former guests who met untimely ends. One of the most frequently reported apparitions is that of a young girl who is often seen playing in the hallways. Guests have heard the sound of her laughter and footsteps, even when no children are present in the hotel. This playful spirit seems to enjoy interacting with visitors, adding a touch of innocence to the hotel's haunted reputation. Another common sighting is that of a man in a top hat, believed to be a former guest who died under mysterious circumstances. This ghostly figure is often seen in the hotel's bar area, where he appears to be enjoying a drink. Some guests have even reported feeling a cold hand on their shoulder or hearing a whisper in their ear when they are alone in the bar. These encounters have left many convinced that the man in the top hat is still enjoying his stay at Hotel Josephine. The hotel's rooms are also hotspots for paranormal activity. Guests have reported waking up to find their belongings moved or hearing strange noises in the middle of the night. Some have even seen shadowy figures standing at the foot of their beds or felt an unseen presence watching them as they sleep. These experiences have led many to believe that the spirits of Hotel Josephine are not confined to any one area, but roam freely throughout the building. Paranormal investigators have conducted numerous investigations at Hotel Josephine, capturing a wealth of evidence that suggests the hotel is indeed haunted. EVP recordings have picked up voices that seem to respond to questions, and thermal cameras have detected unexplained cold spots in various parts of the hotel. Some investigators have even captured video footage of orbs and shadowy figures moving through the hallways. These findings have only added to the hotel's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Kansas. Despite its haunted reputation, Hotel Josephine remains a popular destination for both ghost hunters and regular travelers. The hotel's charming Victorian architecture and historic ambience make it an attractive place to stay, and many guests are drawn by the chance to experience the paranormal for themselves. The hotel even offers ghost tours and paranormal investigation packages, allowing visitors to explore its haunted history in depth. But what makes Hotel Josephine truly stand out on our list of haunted locations in Kansas is the sheer variety of paranormal activity reported by guests and investigators alike. From playful spirits to protective apparitions, the hotel is home to a diverse array of ghostly residents. This makes it a fascinating and intriguing destination for anyone interested in the supernatural. So, if you ever find yourself in Holton, Kansas, and you're looking for a unique and potentially spooky experience, consider booking a stay at Hotel Josephine. But be prepared, you might just encounter one of the hotel's many ghostly guests. Whether it's the protective spirit of Josephine, the playful laughter of the young girl, or the mysterious man in the top hat, Hotel Josephine offers a haunting experience that you won't soon forget. And that's why Hotel Josephine earns its spot at number 4 on our list of the top 5 haunted locations in Kansas. Its rich history, combined with the numerous reports of paranormal activity, make it a must-visit for anyone interested in the supernatural. Whether you're a seasoned ghost hunter or just a curious traveler, Hotel Josephine offers a haunting experience that you won't soon forget. Stay tuned as we continue our countdown of the most haunted locations in Kansas. Up next, we have a spot in Atchison that is haunted by the spirit of a young woman with a tragic past. But for now, let's take a moment to reflect on the ghostly residents of Hotel Josephine and the stories they have to tell. It's a place where history and the supernatural come together, creating an experience that is both fascinating and chilling. Number 3. Molly's Hollow, Atchison, Kansas. Located in Jackson Park, this spot is haunted by the spirit of a young woman named Molly, who was tragically lynched. Visitors claim to hear her screams and see her apparition wandering the area at night. It's a place filled with sorrow and spine-tingling encounters. Molly's Hollow, nestled within the serene Jackson Park in Atchison, Kansas, is a place where beauty and tragedy coexist. The story of Molly's Hollow is one of heartbreak and injustice, and it has left an indelible mark on the area. According to local legend, Molly was a young African-American woman who fell in love with a white man. In the racially charged atmosphere of the time, their relationship was met with hostility and violence. Tragically, Molly was lynched by a mob, and her spirit is said to haunt the hollow where she met her untimely end. Visitors to Molly's Hollow often report hearing the chilling screams of a woman in distress, believed to be Molly herself. These screams are said to echo through the hollow, especially on quiet nights, sending shivers down the spines of those who hear them. The sound is so hauntingly real that many have been compelled to search for the source, only to find nothing but the eerie silence of the night. This auditory phenomenon is one of the most compelling pieces of evidence that Molly's spirit remains in the hollow, forever reliving the terror of her final moments. But the haunting of Molly's hollow is not limited to sounds. Many visitors have reported seeing the apparition of a young woman wandering the area, her face etched with sorrow and pain. This ghostly figure is often seen near the trees where Molly was said to have been lynched, as if she is tethered to the place of her death. Witnesses describe her as wearing a long, flowing dress, and her presence is often accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature, as if the very air around her is mourning her tragic fate. Visitors to Molly's hollow often report hearing the chilling screams of a woman in distress, believed to be Molly herself. These screams are said to echo through the hollow, especially on quiet nights, sending shivers down the spines of those who hear them. The sound is so hauntingly real that many have been compelled to search for the source, only to find nothing but the eerie silence of the night. This auditory phenomenon is one of the most compelling pieces of evidence that Molly's spirit remains in the hollow, forever reliving the terror of her final moments. But the haunting of Molly's hollow is not limited to sounds. Many visitors have reported seeing the apparition of a young woman wandering the area, her face etched with sorrow and pain. This ghostly figure is often seen near the trees where Molly was said to have been lynched, as if she is tethered to the place of her death. Witnesses describe her as wearing a long, flowing dress, and her presence is often accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature, as if the very air around her is mourning her tragic fate. The hollow itself has an unsettling atmosphere, even during the day. The dense trees and underbrush create a sense of isolation, and the shadows cast by the foliage seem to move and shift in unnatural ways. Many who visit the hollow report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness and dread, as if they are being watched by unseen eyes. This oppressive feeling has led some to believe that Molly's spirit is not alone, and that other restless souls may also haunt the area. Local paranormal investigators have conducted numerous investigations at Molly's hollow, hoping to capture evidence of the haunting. EVP recordings have picked up what sounds like a woman's voice crying out for help, and some investigators have reported feeling an icy touch on their skin or seeing shadowy figures moving through the trees. These experiences have only added to the hollow's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Kansas. Despite its haunted reputation, Molly's Hollow remains a popular spot for both locals and tourists. Many come to pay their respects to Molly and to experience the paranormal for themselves. The Hollow has even inspired local folklore and ghost stories, passed down through generations as a reminder of the tragic events that took place there. These stories serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hatred and intolerance, and they keep Molly's memory alive. But what makes Molly's Hollow truly stand out on our list of haunted locations in Kansas is the emotional impact of the haunting. Unlike some haunted places where the activity is more playful or mischievous, the haunting of Molly's Hollow is deeply sorrowful and poignant. It is a haunting that speaks to the pain and suffering of a young woman whose life was cut short by violence and prejudice. This emotional resonance makes Molly's Hollow a place of both fear and reflection. So, if you ever find yourself in Atchison, Kansas, and you're feeling brave, take a trip to Molly's Hollow. But be prepared, you may leave with more than just a spooky story. You may leave with a deeper understanding of the tragic history that haunts this place, and a sense of empathy for the spirit of Molly, who continues to search for peace. Molly's Hollow is a place where the past and present collide, and where the echoes of a tragic love story continue to reverberate through the years. And that's why Molly's Hollow earns its spot at number 3 on our list of the top 5 haunted locations in Kansas. Its tragic history, combined with the numerous reports of paranormal activity, make it a must-visit for anyone interested in the supernatural. Whether you're a seasoned ghost hunter or just a curious traveler, Molly's Hollow offers a haunting experience that you won't soon forget. Stay tuned as we continue our countdown of the most haunted locations in Kansas. Up next, we have a cemetery that is said to be one of the 7 gateways to hell. But for now, let's take a moment to reflect on the sorrowful tale of Molly and the haunting legacy she has left behind. It's a story that reminds us of the enduring power of love and the devastating consequences of hatred. Number 2. Stull Cemetery, Stull, Kansas. Often referred to as one of the 7 gateways to hell, this cemetery is notorious for its eerie atmosphere and numerous reports of paranormal activity. Legends include sightings of the devil and strange, unexplainable occurrences. Enter if you dare, but be prepared for the unexpected. Stull Cemetery, located in the small, unassuming town of Stull, Kansas, is a place shrouded in mystery and fear. Its reputation as one of the 7 gateways to hell has made it a focal point for paranormal enthusiasts and thrill-seekers alike. The cemetery's dark history and the countless tales of supernatural occurrences have cemented its place as one of the most haunted locations in Kansas. The legend of Stull Cemetery dates back to the 1850s, when the town of Stull was first established. According to local lore, the cemetery is built on land that was once used for occult rituals and dark ceremonies. These sinister activities are said to have opened a portal to the underworld, allowing malevolent spirits and even the devil himself to enter our world. This chilling backstory has given rise to numerous tales of paranormal activity and unexplained phenomena. One of the most persistent legends surrounding Stull Cemetery is that of the Devil's Tree. This gnarled, twisted tree is said to be the site where witches were hanged and where the devil himself appears twice a year, on Halloween and the spring equinox. Visitors have reported seeing a dark, shadowy figure standing beneath the tree, and some claim to have felt an overwhelming sense of dread and malevolence in its presence. The tree's eerie appearance and the stories associated with it have made it a focal point for those seeking to experience the supernatural. Another common sighting at Stull Cemetery is that of ghostly apparitions and shadowy figures. Visitors have reported seeing spectral forms moving among the gravestones, often disappearing as quickly as they appear. These apparitions are sometimes accompanied by strange lights and orbs that float through the cemetery, defying any logical explanation. Some have even captured these phenomena on camera, adding to the cemetery's haunted reputation. But the paranormal activity at Stull Cemetery is not limited to visual sightings. Many visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices and eerie whispers that seem to come from nowhere. These voices are often described as unintelligible murmurs or sinister laughter, adding to the cemetery's unsettling atmosphere. Some have even heard the sound of footsteps following them, only to turn around and find no one there. These auditory experiences have left many convinced that the spirits of Stull Cemetery are very much active and aware of their presence. The cemetery's haunted reputation has attracted the attention of paranormal investigators from around the world. Numerous investigations have been conducted at Stull Cemetery, with many capturing compelling evidence of the supernatural. EVP recordings have picked up voices that seem to respond to questions, and thermal cameras have detected unexplained cold spots and anomalies. Some investigators have even reported feeling a physical presence, such as a cold hand touching their shoulder or an unseen force pushing them. These findings have only added to the cemetery's mystique and fearsome reputation. Despite its haunted reputation, Stull Cemetery remains a place of reverence and respect for the local community. Many of the graves belong to the town's early settlers and their descendants, and the cemetery is still used for burials to this day. The local residents are protective of the cemetery and often discourage thrill-seekers from trespassing, especially at night. They view the cemetery as a sacred place, and the legends as a part of their town's history and folklore. But what makes Stull Cemetery truly stand out on our list of haunted locations in Kansas is the sheer intensity and variety of paranormal activity reported by visitors and investigators alike. From ghostly apparitions and disembodied voices to the chilling legend of the Devil's Tree, the cemetery offers a haunting experience that is both terrifying and fascinating. Its dark history and the countless tales of supernatural occurrences make it a must-visit for anyone interested in the paranormal. So, if you ever find yourself in Stull, Kansas, and you're feeling brave, take a trip to Stull Cemetery. But be warned, you may leave with more than just a spooky story. You may leave with a sense of unease and a lingering fear that stays with you long after you've left the cemetery behind. Stull Cemetery is a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead are blurred, and where the echoes of dark rituals and malevolent spirits continue to haunt the land. And that's why Stull Cemetery earns its spot at number 2 on our list of the top 5 haunted locations in Kansas. Its dark history, combined with the numerous reports of paranormal activity, make it a must-visit for anyone interested in the supernatural. Whether you're a seasoned ghost hunter or just a curious traveler, Stull Cemetery offers a haunting experience that you won't soon forget. Stay tuned as we continue our countdown of the most haunted locations in Kansas. Up next, we have a house in Atchison that is infamous for its violent hauntings and terrifying encounters. But for now, let's take a moment to reflect on the chilling tales of Stull Cemetery and the dark legacy it has left behind. It's a place where the past and present collide, and where the shadows of history continue to cast a long and eerie presence. Number 1. Sallie House, Atchison, Kansas. This house is infamous for its violent hauntings. The spirit of a young girl named Sallie, who died during a botched surgery, is said to haunt the house. Visitors and former residents have reported scratches, mysterious fires, and objects moving on their own. It's a place that has left many terrified and convinced of the supernatural. Sallie House, located in the historic town of Atchison, Kansas, is a place that has garnered a reputation as one of the most haunted houses in America. Its story begins in the early 1900s when a young girl named Sallie was brought to the house, which also served as a doctor's office, suffering from severe abdominal pain. The doctor, believing it to be appendicitis, attempted to operate on her without anesthesia. Tragically, Sallie died on the operating table, and her spirit is said to have remained in the house ever since. The haunting of Sallie House is characterized by its violent and aggressive nature. Unlike many hauntings that involve benign or playful spirits, the activity in Sallie House is often malevolent. Former residents and visitors have reported being scratched, pushed, and even burned by unseen forces. These physical attacks are often accompanied by a sense of intense fear and dread, as if the spirit of Sallie is lashing out in anger and pain. One of the most famous cases of the Sallie House haunting involves the Pickman family, who moved into the house in the early 1990s. Almost immediately, they began experiencing strange and terrifying phenomena. Tony Pickman, in particular, was frequently targeted by the spirit. He reported being scratched and burned, and on one occasion, he was even thrown across the room by an unseen force. The Pickmans also witnessed objects moving on their own, lights turning on and off, and mysterious fires starting without any apparent cause. The activity in Sallie House is not limited to physical attacks. Many visitors have reported seeing the apparition of a young girl, believed to be Sallie, wandering the house. She is often described as having a sad and angry expression, as if she is reliving the trauma of her final moments. Some have also seen shadowy figures and heard disembodied voices, including the sound of a child crying or calling out for help. These experiences have left many convinced that Sallie's spirit is still very much present in the house. Paranormal investigators have conducted numerous investigations at Sallie House, capturing a wealth of evidence that suggests the house is indeed haunted. EVP recordings have picked up voices that seem to respond to questions, and thermal cameras have detected unexplained cold spots and anomalies. Some investigators have even captured video footage of objects moving on their own and shadowy figures appearing and disappearing. These findings have only added to the house's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Kansas. Despite its haunted reputation, Sallie House has become a popular destination for ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts. The house is open for tours and overnight investigations, allowing visitors to experience the haunting for themselves. Many who visit the house come away with their own stories of strange and terrifying encounters, adding to the growing body of evidence that suggests Sallie's spirit is still active and aware. But what makes Sallie House truly stand out on our list of haunted locations in Kansas is the sheer intensity and frequency of the paranormal activity reported by visitors and investigators alike. The violent nature of the haunting, combined with the numerous personal accounts and documented evidence, makes it a compelling and intriguing destination for anyone interested in the supernatural. Sallie House is a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead are blurred, and where the echoes of a tragic past continue to reverberate through the years. So, if you ever find yourself in Atchison, Kansas, and you're feeling brave, take a trip to Sallie House. But be warned, you may leave with more than just a spooky story. You may leave with a sense of unease and a lingering fear that stays with you long after you've left the house behind. Sallie House is a place where the past and present collide, and where the spirit of a young girl continues to haunt the living. And that's why Sallie House earns its spot at number 1 on our list of the top 5 haunted locations in Kansas. Its tragic history, combined with the numerous reports of violent paranormal activity, make it a must-visit for anyone interested in the supernatural. Whether you're a seasoned ghost hunter or just a curious traveler, Sallie House offers a haunting experience that you won't soon forget. Thank you for joining us on this spooky journey through Kansas' most haunted locations. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more paranormal content. Until next time, stay curious and stay spooky.